Hey everyone, it's Mr. Miles. I'm going to give you a quick video for those of you who are either not going to be here tomorrow or just want a little bit of extra help to get a jump on your rough draft because those rough drafts are due Friday. And so you want an opportunity to go ahead and get started writing it. This is me just going to tell you real quick how to structure an informative essay, okay, which is the kind of research based informative essay that you are going to be writing here. All right. So, first off, you're going to start with what I asked you to do, which is you start with a research question. Okay. So, maybe my research questions, let's say, totally different topic about World War I soldier. Um, what was daily life in the trenches? World War I soldier. Okay. And so then I do my research looking up for that stuff. And then I find various sources, accounts, so on and so forth, of a soldier living in that space, dealing with that situation. Okay. And so then my answer becomes my working thesis. So the answer to my research question becomes and bridges to my working thesis. Okay. So this is my question. Then my working thesis is essentially, after having found and read some of these sources, this builds upon what that question was. So, what was daily life in the trenches like for a war and a soldier? My working thesis would be like a usual experience for a World War I soldier in the trenches involved horrendous daily living conditions, um, scarring mental and psychological um, wounds, and um, constant fear of imminent death. Okay. And that's just something I came up with on the fly, but you can get an idea for, okay, this is kind of how my thesis needs to go, right? Basically answering my research question, okay? So hopefully what you did is you didn't just pick an idea, you had a research question going into this, and hopefully your sources are going to help you answer that question as you write, okay? This is an example paragraph, like a body paragraph of this hypothetical World War I essay that I'm writing, okay? So the First World War was often referred to by the Great War as a Great War by the newspapers reporting the conflict, but life for the average soldier was anything but great. Life in the trenches was characterized by constant danger and discomfort. The trenches were often muddy and infested with rats, soldiers and forced to endure rain, cold, and heat without proper protection. So that all there is basically the main idea of that paragraph. Okay, so if you're thinking of it like a meal plan paragraph, what you should try to be doing with your paragraphs is similar to a meal plan, but it's not going to be an easy one-to-one kind of comparison because it isn't a literary analysis essay. Okay, what you're doing is basically recording factually what happened. Okay, but here's an easy way to kind of structure it. All right, so you're still going to hopefully, what I want you to do is in the first sentence or two, give me that overarching idea for what this paragraph is going to deal with. What is this body paragraph going to focus around? Okay. Then you give me some solid evidence that you found. Okay. According to Sergeant Henry Fellows, who served with the British Army, you had to sleep in the mud. When you woke up, you were often covered in lice. Okay. So now you give me evidence. All right. You back up your findings with whatever research source that you found. Okay. And here, what I did is, I'm imagining this is like a website. Okay. So, what you do when you cite a website in parenthetical citations is you just tell me the name of the website. Okay. So, in this case, it would be the Imperial War Museum website. Okay. So, I just say Imperial War Museum. All right. I don't do imperialwarmuseum.org or anything like that. It's just Imperial War Museum. That's the name of the organization and the website. Okay. Um, Once I do that, so in a regular meal plan paragraph, you would give me analysis, right? Like you would basically explain what does this quote show, right? You're gonna kind of do something similar here, which is basically you either clarify what that quote was talking about. Here is what that soldier was describing, Okay. Or you can contextualize it. So, like, how common was it for soldiers to be covered in lice? How common was it for mud to be filling up the trenches, and so on and so forth, right? So, like, you provide context or clarity on what it is, the quote that you just gave me. Okay. So, it's similar to the analysis part of a meal plan paragraph, but obviously it's going to be slightly different because you're not analyzing literature. You're not necessarily unpacking what the quote means. You're just telling me, like, okay, so here's what he's referring to. Let me give you some more details on this, or let me just kind of contextualize it and kind of give you a broader view of what he's describing. Okay. Um, and then you make it matter. Okay. Why does this matter? How does this connect to your thesis? Okay. Well, obviously, it tells me what life was like on a day to day basis, right? And what the soldiers had to, wake up with every single day. The fatigue, stress, and pain were sensations soldiers were forced to inure themselves to in order to survive day to day life in the trenches. Although many came home from the war unscathed from bullets, bombs, or barbed wire, they carried trauma and mental scars within the rest of their lives. Okay. And so that gives me a nice little wrap up to that paragraph. I now can move on to my next body paragraph where I talk about something else. Okay. Um, so hopefully that gives you an idea of what a typical informative essay body paragraph will look like. So is it going to be a meal plan perfectly? Maybe not. But it does follow a similar structure. So if that helps you to visualize how your body paragraph should look, I would say follow this example to give you a clue on to how to do it. Okay. So that's my recommendation for the meal plan paragraph or the informative body paragraph for the essay. Um, and if that helps you kind of structure everything, hopefully that gives you an idea on how to do it. All right. So just try to make sure that you give me evidence and you don't just, parachute the evidence in there without context or without any clarity. You still have to explain your evidence. That's still key. Okay. But you're just not going to be analyzing it in terms of themes or anything like that you would with a literary essay. Okay. So you're not looking for themes. You're looking for make it matter. Why does it matter? Why is it important? Why is it significant? What's the point? Okay. So that's what you want to be doing with your evidence in this kind of essay. All right. So hopefully that gives you some clarity on what to do here. If you have any questions, please shoot me an email. I'll be here, to help you and try to solve any questions you have. I will not be here next week, and your final drafts are due on Tuesday of next week. So that means while I'm here, okay, make as much use of my availability while I'm here, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so that you aren't necessarily scrambling to ask me a question or something next week. Okay. But that's it. So that's how to write an informative paragraph, body paragraph for an essay like this.